some noise for
Orange Juice in a Blunt.
Whoreson, the story of a ghetto pimp. Friendly, then pulled my world down on top of me. Whoreson, he said quietly, you ain't got no horse, baby. When we left the house, my girls went upstairs to help yours pack. They done chose me, Whoreson. The words had been spoken quietly, but the message came to me loud and clear. I'd taken him for a friend, but the friendship had only been respected by me. At that stage of my life, I wouldn't have accepted one of his girls if she had come to me. That was something Tony and I never did, mess with each other's girls, but New York wasn't Tony. I trembled with rage, not because I'd lost my whores, but because I'd let my admiration for New York make me completely forget Tony. I realized, with anger, that I'd forgotten to send Tony any money since my involvement with this so-called friend. New York said something. I had to bring my thoughts back from the spreading fog to understand what he was saying. Dig, baby, I ain't going to let you down uptight, Whoreson. I'm going to give you the money both girls make for the next 2 days, baby. That way you can get yourself together, baby. 'Cause I really dig you. I laughed, sharply. If them whores done chose you, mister, the only thing you can do for me is have some bitch call me a cab, so I can get the fuck out of your house. New York got mad. You ain't got to take that attitude, baby. After all, the game is cop and blow. I was quivering. I had to fight down the urge to kill him. One day, New York, I'll see you, and instead of looking up to you, I'll be looking down. You was blowing the bitches, he yelled angrily. If somebody was going to cop them, it might as well have been me. You might as well learn now than later, Whoreson. When it comes to your whores, you don't trust your brother. Anyway, you ain't ready for no bitch like Fatima. Me? Now I know how to handle her. What you should have did, Whoreson, was send her to a whorehouse, so that when she freaked off with another bitch, she'd have a chance of pulling a new whore for you. He shrugged his shoulders to emphasize how simple it was. What you did wrong, he added, was to let Fatima tighten Betty. Now, instead of losing one whore, you blow 2. He pulled the Cadillac into his driveway and stopped. All the lights were out in my flat. Whoreson, he said quietly, you ain't got to take no cab. I'll drive you wherever you want to go. This was too much. I'd stepped out of the car, but at the sound of his voice I stuck my head in. Motherfucker! I screamed at him. I don't want you to do nothing but stay the fuck away from me. My understanding is completely zero, so you and them bitches ain't got nothing to say that I want to hear. You understand, bitch-ass motherfucker? New York didn't answer. He just stared at me and shook his head in agreement, and I realized that he was frightened. The fear in his eyes smoothed my anger. Some of his girls had heard us pull up in the driveway, and now they were standing on the porch. I knew they had heard everything I'd said to him, so before I closed the car door, I tried to humiliate him. If I ever see you anywhere, punk, downtown, on the track, in the streets, and you look at me too long, sucker, I'm getting knee-deep in your ass." Then I added for emphasis, "If you keep frowning, sucker, like you don't like what I'm saying, I'll get in your ass now." He stared straight ahead, not looking in my direction, his hands frozen to the steering wheel. I could sense the struggle he was having with himself. Even a fool can comprehend certain facts at certain times, and I began to grasp the reason for New York to ignore my insults. It wasn't that he was so afraid of me. He just didn't want any trouble. He had copped my girls, so why fight? Later in life, I would meet up with Betty in Detroit, and she would remind me of this night and tell me that New York had a pistol, but he really liked me too much, so he didn't shoot me. He slowly regained his composure and smiled coldly. "We'll meet again, Whoreson. Maybe by then you'll have learned something about pimping." I slammed his car door shut. His girls watched me climb the stairs. There were contemptuous glances shot in my direction, but I stared at them so scornfully that they dropped their eyes. There was a burning passion in me to kick New York's door in and drag both my horse out and kick them in the ass till their noses bled. The only thing that kept me from going on the wild was my earlier teaching. Jessie had always taught me that I was better than 5 whores. If a bitch ever left me, it wasn't my loss, it was hers. Her words rang in my mind. "You don't need no bitch. The whores need you. Don't fight a woman just because she wants to leave you. Help her pack. Give her cab fare. Then go out yourself and have big fun. Don't let a bitch living get the idea that she is hurting you by leaving. If anything, make her believe she is doing you a favor. Tell the bitch that since she is leaving, there's one less worry you will have." With these thoughts in my head, I straightened my back and went on up the stairs. My bags were sitting in the front room, packed. I smiled. They had really crossed me out of the picture. I sat down on top of a suitcase and pondered my problem. I still couldn't shake the feeling of shame. The sound of a horn blowing in front of the house woke me from my stupor. I walked to the window and looked out. A taxi was parking in front of the house. Raising the window, I yelled down for him to wait. I picked up my bags and went down the stairs. I knew that I'd blown my first horse, and I also knew that they wouldn't be my last.